Here's a scary statistic. The average person makes the same 35,000 decisions every single day. But here's the scarier part. Most of us aren't actually making those decisions. We're just repeating yesterday's choices. That's why you can feel busy, but not productive. Active, but not alive. Moving, but not progressing. Think about it. What did you have for breakfast today? Probably the same thing you had yesterday. What route did you take to work? The same one you always take. What did you do when you got home? Let me guess. Checked your phone, maybe turned on the TV, fell into the same evening routine. You're not choosing these things anymore. You're just doing them. And that's exactly why you feel stuck. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack motivation, but because 99% of your life is running on autopilot. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why your brain keeps you trapped in these automatic cycles. And then I'll give you 5 practical steps to break out of that pattern. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to start making conscious choices about your life again. But first, let me ask you something. When's the last time you surprised yourself with a decision you made? If you can't remember, keep watching. Problem explanation. Think of your brain like a well-worn path through the woods. Every time you walk the same route, the path gets deeper and easier to follow. Eventually, you don't even think about where you're going. You just follow the path. That's exactly what happens with your daily habits and thought patterns. Your brain loves efficiency, so it automates everything it can. Wake up, coffee, check phone, work, TV, sleep. Repeat. This autopilot mode isn't your fault. It's actually your brain trying to help you. But here's the problem. When everything becomes automatic, you stop making conscious choices about your life. You know what I'm talking about, right? That feeling where weeks blur together and you can't remember what you did last Tuesday, where you catch yourself scrolling social media for an hour without realizing it, where you complain about the same things but never actually change anything. Studies show that 95% of our daily actions are habits. Think about that. Only 5% of what you do each day is actually a conscious choice. No wonder you feel like life is happening to you instead of you creating your life. And here's the kicker. Your comfort zone isn't actually comfortable anymore. It's just familiar. There's a huge difference. You might be thinking, but I've tried to change before. I've set goals. I've made plans. Nothing sticks. I hear you. And that's because most people try to change everything at once. They rely on willpower and motivation, which are like trying to fuel a car with good intentions. It doesn't work. The good news? You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to understand how change actually works. Here are 5 steps that will help you break free from feeling stuck. I want you to pick just one to start with. Don't try to do all 5 at once. Step 1. Create one tiny disruption. Your brain follows patterns because they're predictable. So we're going to create tiny disruptions to wake it up. Here's what I mean. If you always brush your teeth with your right hand, use your left hand for a week. If you always take the same route to work, take a different street. If you always sit in the same chair, sit somewhere else. I know this sounds silly, but here's why it works. When you disrupt small patterns, your brain has to pay attention again. It can't run on autopilot. And when your brain is awake and paying attention, you start noticing choices you didn't see before. Try this right now. Look around the room and sit in a different spot than where you usually watch videos. See? Already different. Step 2. Ask better questions. Most people ask themselves terrible questions. Why am I stuck? What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? These questions make your brain search for problems and excuses. Instead, ask questions that help you move forward. Try these. What's one small thing I could do differently today? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What's working in my life that I can build on? Your brain is like a search engine. It finds answers to whatever you ask it to search for. Ask better questions. Get bättre answers. Here's a powerful one to use every morning. What's one thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Don't overthink it. Just pick something and do it. Step 3. Design your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you realize. If you want to eat healthier, don't rely on willpower when you're hungry. Put healthy snacks where you can see them, and hide the junk food. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow so you see it when you go to bed. Want to exercise? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Make the good choices easier, and the bad choices harder. Your future self will thank you. I removed all social media apps from my phone's home screen. Now I have to search for them if I want to scroll mindlessly. That tiny bit of friction was enough to cut my social media time in half. What's one change you could make to your environment right now that would support the person you want to become? Step 4. Celebrate small wins. This is the step most people skip, and it's why they give up. Your brain needs evidence that change is possible. Every time you follow through on something small, you're proving to yourself that you can change, but you have to acknowledge it. Did you take the stairs instead of the elevator? That's worth celebrating. Did you choose water instead of soda? Victory dance. Did you have one difficult conversation you've been avoiding? That's huge. I'm not talking about throwing a party for every small action. I'm talking about taking 2 seconds to say, "Good job. I did what I said I would do." This builds momentum. And momentum is everything when you're trying to break free from being stuck. Step 5. Plan for obstacles. Here's what usually happens. You start strong, hit an obstacle, and give up. Then you think you're weak or broken. You're not. You just didn't plan for the obstacle. If you want to wake up early, what will you do when you don't feel like getting up? If you want to eat better, what will you do when you're stressed and want comfort food? If you want to start that project, what will you do when you feel overwhelmed? Plan for these moments ahead of time. Write down your if-then plans. If I don't feel like working out, then I'll just put on my workout clothes and do 5 minutes. If I want to scroll social media, then I'll read 1 page of a book first. You're not planning to fail. You're planning to succeed, even when things get hard. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. And progress happens when you keep going despite obstacles, not when you avoid them. Look, I want you to know something. The fact that you're watching this video means you haven't given up on yourself. That matters more than you think. Everyone feels stuck sometimes. Everyone has days where they wonder if they're living the right life. Everyone has moments where they question their choices. You're not broken. You're human. The difference between people who break free and people who stay stuck isn't talent or luck or perfect circumstances. It's simple. They keep taking small steps forward, even when they don't feel like it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to feel motivated. You just need to take the next small step. Your past doesn't determine your future. Your current situation doesn't define your potential. Every day is a chance to choose differently. Trust yourself. Trust the process. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You've got this, not because it's easy, but because you're stronger than you think. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of those 5 steps. Just one. And commit to trying it for the next 7 days. Then, come back and tell me in the comments which step you chose and how it went. I read every comment, and I love hearing about your progress. If this video helped you see feeling stuck in a new way, hit that like button. It really helps other people find this content when they need it most. And if you want more practical strategies for creating positive change in your life, subscribe and ring the notification bell. I post new videos every Tuesday about turning your life around, one small step at a time. Remember, you're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you're human. But humans are incredibly good at adapting and growing. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of that first small step.